Hey everybody, Alex Angulo here. Welcome back to the Wide Right podcast for July 25th, 2018. It is an amazing day. It's probably hot as hell outside. And today's topics on the podcast will be the 75% problem, in my eyes. What the debate between Liga MX versus Major League Soccer. The Division 1 bowl schedule, which will be updated sometime in November. And then scores from MLS, Liga MX, and the second division, Ascenso MX. So let's talk about Liga MX versus Major League Soccer. So as many of you know, Major League Soccer obviously crowned its champion last year with Toronto FC winning, in my eyes, controversially over Seattle Sounders, the defending champions. Mainly because, in my eyes, in my eyes, there were a couple of the goals that were scored should have been either called back or reviewed. I just wanted a review, that's all. So, other than that, I'm good. So, here we go. I'm talking about one major thing, that's the CONCACAF Champions League, which started in 1962 as a Champions Cup. And the first club to win it were Chivas de Guadalajara. Now, America's only won twice. DC United in 1998 during that stretch when they were just unstoppable. And the last team to win, the last American team, were the LA Galaxy. And then the last team to actually win outside of Mexico, who have been dominant even going into the Champions League era, was Deportivo Saprissa from Costa Rica. I was going to say Costa Rica, the American way. How stupid of me. So, how is that possible? That America, who claimed to be the greatest country in the world when it comes to football, cannot defeat Mexico. Well, long story short, it's just Mexico's just that good. I mean, overall, even going back to the Champions Cup years, it's been Mexico. You have teams like America, Cruz Azul, Pachuca, Monterrey, Universidad Nacional, Pumas UNAM, Atlante, Toluca, Guadalajara, Español, Atlético Español, Necaxa, Puebla, and Universidad de Guadalajara. Leones Negros de la Universidad de Guadalajara. That's about it. Yeah. And they've won those 34 with America winning 7 of the championships, while Toluca have only experienced 3 runners-up compared to 2 titles, which is crazy. So, yeah. So how does this tie in? Well, as I mentioned, the last team to win the Champions League, and now the last non-Mexican team to win, was the aforementioned Deportivo Saprissa. And then this is basically what it's been like since 2006. America, Pachuca, Atlante, Pachuca, Monterrey, Cruz Azul, America, Pachuca, Guadalajara. I kid you not. Toronto FC, a lot of people who are MLS fans saw, a lot of people in the MLS saw this as a major failure for Toronto FC. They saw it as a great success, but also a great failure because they drew and they lost on penalties. Wonder what happened last. In fact, 2005 CONCACAF Champions Cup, the semifinals, you had Saprissa defeat Monterrey on penalties because they drew 3-3. And UNAM lost 2-0, but won 2-1. But unfortunately, Ronald Gomez scored the game-winning goal in in the 33rd minute of the second leg. So as I mentioned, what does that have to do with football here in America? Well, obviously, all right. So, all right then. So the last scores were from the 22nd, I believe. Yeah, it shows 22nd. So, all right then. So let's start off with that. But in my opinion, going back to the Liga MX versus Liga MX versus MLS argument. A lot of people say, well, MLS is better because they played well. Oh, well, here's the thing. If you're telling me that Liga MX is not as good as MLS because of your bias for a country, that's just one of the stupidest things I'll hear. Liga MX, in my opinion, is more passionate. I mean, you're starting to see that in MLS, but it's because a lot of Mexican fans are starting to make the jump saying, well, my team's in the off-season. This is not in the off-season. Let's go. Specifically around teams such as LAFC, LA Galaxy, Orlando City, where there's huge Hispanic populations. So, speaking of which, let's talk about the scores, okay? We're going to start off with MLS, because why not? You save the best for last. So, Atlanta United beat DC United 3-1. Vancouver went down a man against Seattle with Efrain Juarez going out on a straight red in the 77th minute. Seattle won 2-0. Red Bulls defeated New England 2-0. Toronto FC defeated Chicago 2-1. Galaxy defeated Union 3-1. Columbus Crew saved the Crew. Beating Orlando City in a good contest 3-2. And then Dynamo Dallas drawing 1-1. Real Salt Lake and Colorado drawing 2-2. And Portland and Montreal Impact drawing 2-2 as well. With Minnesota United thrashing LAFC 5-1. And holy shit, that's only the 5th loss that the LAFC have suffered, which is amazing. Now let's go to the Ascenso MX score. So what is Ascenso MX, you ask? It's basically, as I mentioned, the aforementioned second division. The aforementioned second division of the aforementioned second division of Mexican football. So let's see, how long have I been talking about this? Oh my god, I've been nearly talking about it for 10 minutes. That's how passionate I am about football, okay? Okay, so let me shut up and get the scores out. Okay, so Portos defeated Cafetaleros 3-1. Atlético San Luis and Mineros de Zacatecas drew to a scoreless draw. Correcaminos defeated Zacatepec 2-1, but had a red card, with Diego Barbosa going before the end of the first half. Mérida beat Tampico Madero 1-0. Cimarrones de Sonora beat Atlante 2-1. And I'm surprised Atlante is down there. Sayala and Dorados drew to 1-1 draw, with Rodrigo Lopez being sent off in the 67th minute. And Juarez defeated Alebrijes de Oaxaca 1-0. So there's that. Okay, so now we go to the more popular Liga MX. Okay, so so Pumas Unam defeated Veracruz 2-0. Wonder why I heard that score before. If you're wondering, I'm talking about the 2016 Supercopa MX contested between Chivas de Guadalajara and Veracruz, where Chivas won 2-0 at the StubHub Center in Carson, California, which I attended. And let me tell you, it felt like a Chivas game. It felt like a Estadio Akron, but either way. So Pumas won 2-0. Atletas and Querétaro drew to a scoreless draw. Cruz Azul defeated Puebla handedly 3-0. Monterrey defeated Pachuca 1-0. Tigres defeated León 2-0. Tijuana defeated Guadalajara 2-1 with Michael Perez Ortiz being sent off about 9-10 minutes left in the match. Toluca beat Monarcas, who had Aldo Rocha sent off in the 49th minute. Santos Laguna defeated Lobos Buap 2-1, and that was the same score that Necaxa beat Club America by, which to me is like a nice birthday gift, because yesterday was my birthday, the day that I recorded this. Also, I believe it was yeah, Chivas Guadalajara defeated Chivas Guadalajara came on and won 4-3 on aggregate, and Tigres they pulled off some controversy with dare I say it. They declined the medals. I mean, there were guys that said, no, I don't want this. And I've been talking about this for about 11 and a half minutes, so I'm going to shut up and I'm going to go on to the next topic, which is what I consider the 75% problem. So what is the 75% problem? In North American sports, specifically here in the United States, there are 4 big leagues considered the big 4. You have Major League Baseball, the National Football League, the National Basketball Association, and of course the National Hockey League. Now, there were some moves done during the current NBA offseason that many fans considered the NBA ruined. So, let me explain, okay? The 3 leagues, which I call 75%, those are the ones that get like all the TV coverage, all this stuff. I mean, you can consider stuff like NASCAR, MLS, Liga MX. They all tie in together because, especially here in Los Angeles, there's always going to be someone wearing like a Chivas uniform or Atlas or whatever. I knocked over my mic because I'm an idiot. But there's a big problem going on right now. In Major League Baseball, there was a report that came out that said that the balls used in last year's World Series were basically, dare I say it, the balls, according to some reports, were more slick, meaning that if you hit a home run, it was easier, which is why Chris Taylor almost blasted that home run out of Dodger Stadium during Game 1. And I know a lot of Astros fans will be like, well, you're salty. First off, I'm not salty. I'm just an outsider who saw it. And I was actually surprised when you guys won. I had a video, but I deleted it because the TV I had was a bit broken from fucking Grayson Allen. Not literally, but you know. And then what else? Oh yeah, Major League Baseball, as I mentioned, the aforementioned problem and the possible predictability. The NBA, which now many fans have considered ruined because DeMarcus Cousins went from the Pelicans to the Warriors, and LeBron going to the Lakers, and the NFL, obviously, with its problems, even though a lot of people want Goodell out, the owners are keeping Goodell in because he's their cash cow. Which I think is a death sentence for the NFL, because if you're talking, oh my goodness, the NFL's doing great, the ratings are good. Nah, ratings are down. MLB's getting an attendance problem, and it's not going to be long that the big 3 are going to be considered in deep trouble. Now, this year, I'm going to say it, the NFL, the NBA, and MLB are starting to look extremely predictable. And man, that logo looks bad. Okay then. Okay. Okay then. I'm just looking at the logo, but I like the fact that Major League Baseball's kind of created like a postseason logo. But enough of that. I still think that the the three big leagues, NFL, NBA, and MLB, all have a problem. And once they start tweaking it, things are gonna get better. Okay, so I'll deal with that later. Now, I get to talk about NCAA football. One of the big things I'll be focusing on, and I'm not just gonna focus on Division 1. Oh no. I'm gonna focus on the FCS, the Football Championship subdivision of Division 1, the Division 2, Division 3, and if I can find it, the NAIA. Which, that's interesting. Alright then, so the bowl game. So the season begins August 25th, and Navy starts September 1st. So why am I talking about the season, when it hasn't even been started yet? Well, here's the thing. This is going to be one of the big things I'm checking out. Alright, so let me talk about the game rules. Well, I'll probably cover it in another podcast, but Alright. So let me talk about a couple of conference realignments. So Idaho, obviously, Idaho Vandals are going down to the Big Sky. The 2018 Idaho Vandals are going from the Sun Belt to the Big Sky, with the New Mexico State Aggies going from the Sun Belt to an independent. Well, Liberty is going from Big South to an FBS. Of course, Liberty, they will not be bowl eligible until 2019. So, Idaho's actually got good idea. So, all right then. Wow. Okay then. They actually actually, this is funny. Idaho is either 4th or 5th now that they've gone down to the Big Sky. And now but yeah, long story short, it's just gonna be crazy. So we got week 0 games. So Saturday, August 25th, you're gonna have the Duke. I don't know how to pronounce that. I've never known how to pronounce Duquesne. Well, we're gonna say the Dukes versus the UMass Minutemen. All right. Juking, I think. I have no idea. Sorry. If you're from that school, and you should tell me in the comments, because this is on YouTube. Please tell me, how do I pronounce it? Okay, so Juking, I believe, the Juking Dukes at the UMass Minutemen, Prairie View A&M at Rice, Wyoming at New Mexico State, and Hawaii against the Colorado State Rams. And then the Chick-fil-A kickoff game, Auburn Tigers, where they handed a UCF their national championship, going up against the Washington Huskies. Sorry, I've been drinking Coke most of this podcast. Auburn versus Washington. Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then the Belk kickoff game will have Tennessee versus West Virginia and Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte. The Camping World kickoff, you have Alabama versus Louisville in Camping World Stadium in Orlando. The Advocare Classic, which will be LSU versus Miami, the U at AT&T Stadium. And then the Ole Miss Rebels versus the Texas Tech Red Raiders at Energy Stadium in Houston for the Texas kickoff. So of course, obviously, a couple stadiums. Louisville, I'll get to that. Arizona State's finishing its renovation of Sun Devil Stadium. Georgia will have a new West End Zone thing at Sanford Stadium. Arkansas will have its new expansion at Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. Iowa rebuilds Kinnick Stadium's North End Zone. In Indiana, will have the South End Zone complex at Memorial Stadium. Colorado State, Canvas Stadium is the new Colorado State Stadium. Kansas renamed the David Booth of Kansas Memorial Stadium because of the guy who donated $50 million. And Louisville, well, long story short, the guy who created Papa John's, he said some bad things, and, well, he's out, and they took his name down. Alright then. So I don't think Sunbelt's going to have... Oh, they're still going to have a championship. 1, 2, 3, 4... So 10. Okay then. Alright, so Sunbelt's going to have a championship game. Speaking of which, the championship games, you have the MAC championship game. And the Pac-12 championship game about the same time on November 30th. And then the very next day you'll have the SEC championship, the Big Ten championship, the ACC championship, the American Athletic Championship, Big 12 championship. Yes, it's back. Conference USA championship, Mountain West championship, the Sun Belt championship, and the SWAC championship. So MAC title game will be at Ford Field. Pac-12 will be at Levi Stadium, as usual. SEC will be at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Big Ten will be at Lucas Oil Stadium. ACC, Bank of America. American Championship at the team with the better record. Big 12 will be at AT&T Stadium, which Joe Davis called last year. Conference USA, better record, or head-to-head or whatever. Mountain West, same. Same for the Sun Belt. And SWAC Championship will be at Legion Field. But every single one of them will be on December 1st. Now, we get to the bowl games. Whew. This podcast is running long, but I don't mind. It's already, going to be 24 minutes? Jeez. Alright, so let's talk about the non-playoff football championship games, and then the playoff football championships, and then the All-Star games. So, let us go. Before we do, let me talk about how you can get into a bowl game. Obviously, if you're watching a college football game and it's like a team gets their 6th win, then they're considered bowl eligible. It's because you need at least 6 wins. Sometimes you'll need 5 to 5-7. You get a 5-7 team that has a good APR record that gets in, which I believe happened in last time it happened was in the 2016-17 so North Texas had a North Texas and Mississippi State and Hawaii. They qualified via their APR score, so this is a big one. So yeah, so we'll talk CFP later. That's interesting. So let's talk the non-CFP. As usual, the Gildan New Mexico Bowl starts it off at a Dreamstyle Stadium. I'm not going to get into more details until next week's podcast, which is on Odaiba Day. The AutoNation Cure Bowl will be at Camping World Stadium. The Las Vegas Bowl, Camellia Bowl, and the R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl on December 15th. And then, if you hear me say, like, December 18th, it's because those dates fall on Sunday and Monday, which is traditionally the NFL's time. So the Cheribundi Boca Raton Bowl is at a FAU Stadium. DXL Frisco Bowl, well, the Boca Raton Bowl is on December 18th. December 19th is the DXL Frisco Bowl at Toyota Stadium. December 20th, Bad Boy Motors Gasparilla Bowl at Raymond James Stadium. December 21st, the Bahamas Bowl at Thomas Robinson Stadium in the Bahamas, Nassau. Same day as the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, at Albertson Stadium. The Birmingham, December 22nd, Birmingham Bowl at Legion Field, Lockheed Armed Forces Bowl at Amon G. Carter Stadium, Dollar General Bowl. Hopefully nobody steals anything, if you know what I mean. At Lad People Stadium, and the Hawaii Bowl in Aloha Stadium. My favorite bowl, and I'm not kidding. This is the very first time. This is a rarity. Let me explain this to you, folks. The Hawaii Bowl is normally held on Christmas Eve, but because Christmas Eve is a Monday this year, and the NFL is obviously given priority, I'm finally gonna get to watch a Hawaii Bowl, and I'm excited. Then on December 26th, day after Christmas, you got the Zaxby's Heart of Dallas Bowl at the Cotton Bowl, Quick Lane Bowl at Ford Field, Cactus Bowl at Chase Field. Then next day, December 27th, December 26th, for like the Heart of Dallas, Quick Lane, and Cactus. December 27th, you have the Walk-Ons Independence Bowl at Independence Stadium, New Era Pinstripe Bowl at Yankee Stadium, Foster Farms Bowl at Levi Stadium, and the Academy Sports and Outdoor Texas Bowl at Energy Stadium. The 28th, you have the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl at Nissan Stadium, the Camping World Bowl at Camping World Stadium, the Valero Alamo Bowl at the Alamo Dome, and then the San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl at San Diego County Credit Union Stadium, formerly known as Qualcomm Stadium. That's a mouthful. 29th is the Belk Bowl at Bank of America, and then the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl at Arizona Stadium. And the 20th, I'm just going to call it Brand Day. And then, well, those are the only two bowls that fall on a Sunday, because they already have four bowls on New Year's Eve, which is exciting. The Military Bowl, presented by Northrop Grumman, will be at Navy Marine Corps Memorial Stadium. The Hyundai Sun Bowl at Sun Bowl Stadium. AutoZone Liberty Bowl at the Liberty Bowl. And then the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl at TIAA Bank Field. And then on New Year's Day, you have the Outback Bowl at Raymond James Stadium and the Citrus Bowl at Camping World Stadium. And now, this year, we have the New Year's Six, which you have to be really high up and really well paid if you're going to talk about, you're going to make it to one of these games. Okay, so December 29th, not only do you have the Belk Bowl and the Nova Home Loans Arizona Bowl, you have the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and then the semifinals, the Capital One Orange Bowl at Hard Rock Stadium, and the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic at AT&T Stadium. All of which are on ESPN. That is that. And then New Year's Day, you have the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl at the University of Phoenix Stadium. But I'm probably going to start calling it the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl because, come on, Boise State, anybody? Then you have the Rose Bowl presented by Northwestern Mutual at the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. A beautiful place. And if you're listening to this and you've never been to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, I recommend trying to get a ticket to an event that's not a UCLA football game. Or if you want to, you can. It's your call. It is a beautiful venue, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about the sports. And then the All-State Sugar Bowl at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in Nolens. That's the All-State Sugar Bowl. And then, of course, the National Championship game will be at Levi Stadium on January 7th, 2019. Because, obviously, the league has already finished. Wow. I am exhausted. And not even that. It's already, was it January 19th? It's the last Saturday. The last 2 Saturdays. January 19th. You have the East-West Shrine game at Tropicana Field. And the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl at the Rose Bowl. And then the 26th is the official closing of the college football season with the Senior Bowl at Ladd-Peebles Stadium. Whew. And of course, Tropicana Field only comes up once. There is I believe there was I forgot what, the Gasparilla Bowl, I believe. This year's Gasparilla Bowl will be at Raymond James Stadium. So, yeah. Yeah, folks. This is that's how all the bowls are. So, yeah. That's basically how I'm going to end it with the fact that the Gasparilla Bowl is in that Tropicana Field, but it's at Raymond James Stadium. Wowzers. Until next time, hope you guys enjoy your day, and I will see you next week. Bye.